In the heart of the North Atlantic lies an island seemingly woven from two extremes, fire and ice. This is Iceland, a land where dormant volcanoes stand beside eternal glaciers, and where the night sky bursts alive with the dazzling colors of the aurora borealis. Setting foot here, you don't just witness a majestic natural landscape, you step into a world of paradox and mystery. Iceland is not only breathtakingly beautiful, it is also filled with strange and fascinating truths that are hard to believe exist. A country where daylight can stretch for 24 hours in summer, yet winter is cloaked in near total darkness. A place with black sand beaches that look as though they were carved out of mythology. Small horses that possess gaits found nowhere else in the world. And even a culture where eating ice cream in freezing winters is a beloved tradition. In today's video, join fascinating discoveries as we explore 15 extraordinary secrets of Iceland, stories both mystical and real, where nature and humanity blend into a symphony unique to the North. Are you ready for the journey to the land of fire and ice? Let's begin. Number 15. The Midnight Sun. Can you believe that somewhere on Earth, the sun almost never sets for months on end? This is no myth, but a breathtaking phenomenon known as the midnight sun in Iceland. From May to August, in the capital Reykjavík and especially in the northern regions, the sky turns into a golden canvas where the sun merely grazes the horizon before rising again, never truly disappearing. This is nature's gift to this island of fire and ice. Born from its position near the Arctic Circle, imagine walking out at 11 p.m. and seeing children still playing soccer on the grass, friends leisurely cycling through quiet streets, or couples sitting in cafes, sipping coffee under an endless sunset that stretches well into the morning. Here, night becomes nothing more than a word. Stripped of its darkness, the midnight sun is more than just a surreal visual spectacle. It shapes Icelandic culture and lifestyle. In this endless light, people learn to slow down, to savor every moment, transforming summer into a season of festivals, music, travel, and creativity. It is as if nature whispers, "Live fully." Because every ray of light is a rare and precious gift. Visuals to imagine: a wide shot of golden skies over the Arctic North, a drone view of Reykjavík bathed in soft eternal light, children running joyfully in parks at midnight, and a close-up of a traveler raising a camera in awe. But if you think this endless sunlight is already strange, wait until you discover the weeks-long darkness that follows, a mystery in perfect contrast, waiting at the next discovery. Number 14. The Polar Night. Imagine a day that lasts only 4 short hours. What would you do with such a fleeting glimpse of daylight? In Iceland, this is no hypothetical, it is the reality of winter. From late November to early February, the country enters the phenomenon known as the Polar Night. In Reykjavík, the sun rises lazily at 11 a.m. and slips away again by 3 p.m., leaving long stretches of darkness behind. In the far north, the light disappears almost completely for weeks, draping the land in an endless, haunting night. And yet, rather than fearing the dark, Icelanders embrace it. They ski beneath glowing artificial lights, their breath hanging like silver mist in the frozen air. They gather around steaming, hot pots, geothermal pools that glow with warmth while snow drifts softly around them. In small cafes, candles flicker, jazz music hums in the background, and the rich aroma of coffee fills the silence. To them, darkness is not the absence of light, but an invitation to kindle brightness within. Studies show that Icelanders rely on specialized lamps to balance their moods. But the deeper truth lies in a Nordic philosophy: light does not come from the sun, but from within the human spirit. Perhaps that is why, despite such harsh winters, Iceland consistently ranks among the happiest nations on Earth. Visualize it: a wide drone shot of a snowbound village glowing with golden window light, close-ups of friends laughing in the mist of a hot spring, and skiers carving luminous trails beneath floodlights on a dark mountain slope. But if living through weeks of darkness seems strange enough, the next discovery will astonish you even more: a country where women are not only admired for their beauty, but celebrated as the true architects of power. Number 13. A country empowered by women. In a nation of fewer than 400,000 people, women are not only mothers, but also some of the most powerful leaders. For years, Iceland has topped the global gender equality index, setting a standard few countries can match. Here, women are everywhere: CEOs steering businesses, artists shaping culture, teachers nurturing knowledge, and even fishers braving the icy seas. They do not wait for empowerment to be handed down, they create it themselves. Like molten lava flowing beneath a frozen crust. Picture this: a young woman confidently walking over to your table in a Reykjavík bar, smiling as she invites you for a drink, or receiving a direct message on your phone that simply says, "I like you." In Iceland, there is no script for love. Everyone has the right to write their own story. To avoid awkwardly dating a distant cousin in such a small population, the country even has a mobile app called Icelandic, designed to trace family lineage before relationships begin. Yet what makes Icelandic women truly captivating is not just their snow-bright skin or hair like northern sunlight. It is their unyielding independence. They can be fierce in the boardroom and serene by the hot springs, meditating as steam rises around them. It is the perfect blend of fire and ice, of storm and stillness. Imagine the visuals: women in modern offices making decisive moves, fishers pulling nets from frigid waters, a text message glowing on a dark night, and a contemplative woman seated by a geothermal pool, her gaze holding both volcano and glacier within. But if the people of Iceland are already this extraordinary, wait until you discover how they control something as ordinary as alcohol, in a way that's unlike anywhere else in the world. Number 12. Alcohol only at state stores. In Iceland, you cannot simply walk into a supermarket, pick up a bottle of wine for dinner, and pay at the counter like in most other European countries. Why is that? The secret lies in a special system called Vinbin, the state-run chain of stores that holds the exclusive right to sell alcoholic beverages. In this land of ice and fire, alcohol is not a commodity easily found, but one that is carefully regulated with strict operating hours. Vinbin stores are usually closed on Sundays and even on Saturday afternoons. And if you arrive just a few minutes too late, the heavy doors will already be shut, leaving you standing helplessly before empty shelves, your dinner party missing its spark. Many first-time visitors to Iceland have found themselves in this awkward situation, arms full of groceries, but unable to buy even a single bottle of beer, forced to have a dry party in the freezing cold. Yet hidden behind this inconvenience is a very Nordic philosophy: freedom within limits. By controlling the supply of alcohol, the government ensures that society can still enjoy it while avoiding the pitfalls of overindulgence. As a result, Iceland has become one of the countries with the lowest alcohol consumption rates in Europe, while still maintaining a lively, healthy, and strongly communal drinking culture. Picture this: a Vinbin store with long lines of people waiting, a tourist's bewildered face upon finding the sign, "Closed," and then a warm scene indoors, a group of Icelanders raising glasses of wine by candlelight, laughter echoing through the icy night. But if you think this unique alcohol regulation is already unusual, brace yourself, because the next discovery will take you to a beach unlike any other on Earth: Reynisfjara, the legendary black sand shoreline where fire and ice meet. Number 11. Reynisfjara, legendary black sand beach. Do you imagine a beach must have golden sand, swaying palm trees, and warm sunshine? Come to Iceland and you'll see an entirely different definition. About 180 kilometers from Reykjavík, Reynisfjara is hailed as the most beautiful black sand beach in the world. Here, There are no palm trees or dazzling sunlight. Instead, you'll find a mystical landscape where the sand is formed from volcanic lava that cooled and crumbled over thousands of years. Towering along the shoreline are basalt columns rising like massive fortress walls, as if carved by the hands of Norse gods themselves. And, like many places in Iceland, Reynisfjara is wrapped in legend. Locals say the jagged sea stacks offshore are, in fact, two trolls. They tried to drag a ship toward land under the cover of night. But before they could succeed, dawn broke, and the sunlight turned them to stone forever. That myth, together with the roar of waves that can reach up to 12 meters, creates a scene both majestic and overwhelming, like stepping into the pages of an ancient saga. Reynisfjara is not just a beach, it is a gateway into the world of Norse mythology, where nature and legend blend into a living reality. Its surreal beauty has made it a filming location for Hollywood blockbusters such as Game of Thrones and Star Wars. Imagine this: sweeping drone shots over endless stretches of black sand, fierce white waves crashing against the shore, towering basalt cliffs like a fortress, and tiny human figures standing in awe before the grandeur of nature. But if you think a cold, harsh beach could already be this captivating, wait until you discover Iceland's unique hot spring bathing culture, where ritual and community come together as one. In our next revelation, Number 10. Bathing rituals, the culture of hot spring bathing. In Iceland, bathing is not just a daily act of hygiene. It is a communal ritual, a cultural tradition deeply woven into the lives of the people. Before stepping into the steaming geothermal pools, everyone must thoroughly wash themselves. In many public baths, you won't find private rooms or curtains, because here, all are equal in transparency and naturalness. What might seem unusual is actually the foundation for keeping shared waters pure, reflecting mutual respect between humans and nature. The most famous symbol of this bathing culture is the Blue Lagoon, a milky blue pool shimmering amidst white mist. Few would guess that it is not a natural hot spring, but formed from geothermal runoff water of a nearby power plant. Yet, so rich in minerals it feels almost miraculous. The Blue Lagoon has become one of the world's top wellness destinations, where visitors soak in otherworldly scenery, letting time dissolve into the ethereal steam. Beyond the Blue Lagoon, in remote valleys like Reykjavík, one must hike through hills billowing with white steam to reach a natural hot spring flowing through the valley floor. There, no luxury services await, no crowds of tourists, only absolute stillness, the gentle trickle of water, and the feeling of merging completely with nature. For Icelanders, hot springs are not only places to relax the body but also spaces to bond communities, heal the spirit, and nurture health. They serve as a bridge connecting science, nature, and culture, where people rediscover balance in a land defined by the harsh contrasts of ice and fire. Picture this: a wide shot of a misty valley, a drone gliding over the turquoise glow of the Blue Lagoon, a close-up of hands catching warm water against the snowy backdrop, and the serene gaze of a bather lifting their eyes to the gray Nordic sky. But if you think hot spring bathing is already extraordinary, wait until you hear about Iceland's passion for ice cream in sub-zero winters, a sweet and quirky habit waiting for you in the next discovery. Number 9. Ice cream obsession, the culture of winter ice cream. At -15 degrees Celsius, you might think people would reach for a steaming cup of hot cocoa to warm their bodies. But in Iceland, they choose ice cream. Eating ice cream here has nothing to do with the seasons. It is a unique custom, woven into the rhythm of everyday life. Icelanders often drive to an ice cream shop, buy a few cones, and then sit in their cars, enjoying the treat while watching the snow fall outside the windows. In those moments, the cold outside seems only to make the sweetness taste even richer. A romantic date in Reykjavík doesn't always need roses or candlelight. Sometimes it's just two people sitting side by side in a car, sharing a vanilla cone dipped in hot chocolate, laughing and talking as snow drifts softly across the glass. This simple ritual has become a quiet charm of Icelandic love and daily life. What makes this habit so strange and astonishing is its paradox, in the midst of a harsh winter. With freezing winds biting the skin, people choose to savor a treat that in most countries is tied to summer. And yet, in that very paradox lies a philosophy, even surrounded by ice and cold. Humans can still find sweetness to enjoy. In Iceland, ice cream is not just a dessert, it is a symbol of optimism, of a spirit that seeks joy even in the harshest conditions. Picture this: cars parked in blankets of white snow, their interiors glowing with warm yellow light, a close-up of a couple laughing as they bite into a cone, snow falling in slow motion outside the windshield, and a group of friends raising colorful cones together inside a car. But if you think eating ice cream in the dead of winter is strange enough, wait until you hear how the people of a small Icelandic village train themselves to face the threat of a dangerous volcano right in their backyard. An extraordinary discovery awaiting you next. Number 8. Vik Village, the village living beside a volcano. Imagine living right at the foot of one of the most dangerous volcanoes in the world. What would you do? In Iceland, this is not a fictional scenario but the daily reality of the people of Vik. This small village lies directly beneath Katla, a sleeping giant, still simmering beneath the enormous white shroud of the Myrtlsjökull glacier. If Katla awakens, the ice would melt, floods of mud would surge, and within minutes the entire village could be swallowed by chaos. Yet instead of panic, the villagers have chosen to live alongside the danger. Every year, they conduct serious evacuation drills when the siren sounds. The entire village runs to a small church perched on a hill, the only place high enough to escape the torrents of mud and glacial melt. This scene is both practical and symbolic, tiny human figures, standing firm beneath a colossal volcano, learning to respect and coexist rather than to fight against it. This calm resilience reflects the Icelandic spirit. They do not deny the danger, nor do they allow fear to dictate their lives. They prepare carefully for the worst-case scenario, yet continue to enjoy each day, strolling along the nearby black sands of Reynisfjara, gazing up at towering basalt cliffs, or sharing with visitors the legend of the two trolls turned to stone just offshore. Picture this: a sweeping aerial view of the village nestled under the shadow of the volcano. A solitary white church standing quietly on the hill, villagers running through snow during a drill, and a close-up of children laughing as they run, without fear. As if Katla were nothing more than a grumpy neighbor they've known for generations. But if living in the shadow of a slumbering volcano makes you shiver, then the next discovery will astonish you even more: the only place on Earth where you can dive between two continents. Number 7. Silfra Fissure, diving between two continents. Would you like to touch Europe and North America at the same time? In Thingvellir National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, lies a one-of-a-kind fissure called Silfra. This is the natural boundary where the Eurasian and North American tectonic plates meet, and the only place on Earth where humans can dive directly between two continents. It sounds unbelievable, but at depths of dozens of meters, you are suspended between two worlds, floating in the geological gap that separates them. What makes this experience truly magical is the extraordinary clarity of the water. At Silfra, visibility can reach up to 100 meters, like a massive mirror reflecting both sky and earth. People often joke that this is nature's smart water, formed from meltwater of the Langjökull glacier, filtered for decades through volcanic rock until it becomes almost perfectly pure. Divers here don't just admire the surreal landscape, they can even drink the icy water, tasting the untouched purity of the earth itself. But Silfra is more than just an adventurous destination, it is also a quiet reminder that our planet never stands still. These two continental plates drift apart by about 2 centimeters each year, a small number. but over millions of years. Enough to redraw the map of the world. Picture this: a wide drone shot of a glowing blue lake with sunlight dancing on its surface, divers drifting between two colossal stone walls. Their hands outstretched as if touching two continents at once, close-ups of tiny air bubbles shimmering in crystal-clear water, evoking the feeling of slipping into another dimension. And if swimming between continents has already astonished you, the next discovery will surprise you even more: a small but unique breed of horse, found only in Iceland, with gaits unlike any other in the world. Number 6. Icelandic horses, the most unique horses in the world. They may look like ponies, but in reality, they are a purebred, powerful horse breed that has existed for thousands of years. These are the Icelandic horses, small in stature yet carrying extraordinary endurance and a uniqueness that amazes the world. Standing only about 1.3 to 1.5 meters tall, their compact build often leads people to mistake them for young foals. Yet, across Iceland's icy plains, where harsh winds cut through the air and snow blankets the ground, they have proven to be humanity's most resilient companions. What makes this breed so extraordinary is that, unlike most horses with only 3 or 4 gaits, Icelandic horses possess 5 distinct gaits. The most famous is the tolt, a smooth, flowing gait so stable that a rider can hold a full glass of beer while galloping across snowy fields without spilling a drop. This is not just a riding technique, it is the refinement of centuries of harmony between humans, animals, and the land. To preserve this priceless purity, Iceland's government enforces strict regulations. Importing horses from abroad is absolutely forbidden. And once an Icelandic horse leaves the country, it can never return. This ensures the breed remains nearly immune to many diseases common elsewhere, maintaining the same pure bloodline as when they first arrived on the island with Norse settlers. Imagine this: wide shots of herds of small, sturdy horses trotting across snowy meadows, close-ups of their strong hooves striking frozen ground, slow motion of the tolt as a rider calmly raises a beer without spilling a drop, and sweeping drone shots of vast Icelandic plains, where these horses run as if merging with the wind itself. But if a breed of horse can be this extraordinary, prepare to be even more astonished by Iceland's naming traditions, where even brothers may not share the same surname, and an entire nation runs on a unique genealogical system. Number 5. Naming system and gene bank. Iceland's unique tradition. In Iceland, 2 brothers can grow up in the same family, yet not share the same surname. Unlike most countries, Icelanders do not use family names. Instead, a child's last name is formed from the father's or mother's first name, with the suffix son for sons and daughter for daughters. For example, if John has a son named Eric, the boy's full name would be Eric Johnson. If he has a daughter named Anna, she would be Anna Johnsdottir. This patronymic system means siblings in the same household may carry different last names, a practice that confuses outsiders but feels natural to Icelanders. Daily life reflects this custom in striking ways. Even the national phone book is organized by first name rather than last name, and it often lists occupations alongside, turning it into a kind of printed social network. Adding to the uniqueness, Iceland has a naming committee that reviews and approves new names for babies. Names must follow Icelandic grammar and be easy to pronounce, otherwise they can be rejected. This is not just bureaucracy but a way of protecting language, culture, and identity in a small nation deeply aware of its roots. Beyond names, Iceland also holds one of the world's largest gene banks, a vast archive storing DNA data from tens of thousands of citizens. This cutting-edge resource enables researchers to study genetics, trace ancestry, and advance medical discoveries on a global scale. Imagine this: a wide shot of Reykjavík's phone directory, pages filled with first names instead of surnames, close-ups of ancient manuscripts with runic letters, footage of scientists in white coats working inside a high-tech gene lab, and finally, portraits of Icelandic families whose identities bridge both tradition and modern science. But if you think this cultural system is unusual, wait until you discover Reykjavík itself, a capital so small it could fit inside a single New York neighborhood, yet vibrant enough to rival Europe's liveliest cities. Number 4. Reykjavík, a small but vibrant capital. Can you believe that a capital city no larger than a single neighborhood in New York could hold one of the most vibrant cultural lives in all of Northern Europe? That city is Reykjavík, the smallest capital in Europe, where just a few minutes' walk will take you across the center. Yet every corner reveals a new world of color and creativity. By day, Reykjavík wears a soft but radiant beauty. Brightly painted wooden houses line clean cobblestone streets, while street art sprawls across building walls like giant murals, transforming the city into an open-air gallery. Tourists flock to Hallgrímskirkja, the towering church shaped like a massive pipe organ, or stop at Harpa, the shimmering glass concert hall by the sea. But when night falls, Reykjavík transforms into an entirely different city. Reykjavíkur Street comes alive under neon lights, with bars, pubs, and clubs that stay open until dawn. From retro bars inspired by American cinema to modern clubs pulsing with electronic beats, all blend together into a kaleidoscope of sound and color, where anyone can find their own rhythm. The remarkable thing is that within this contrast, Reykjavík never loses its identity. Peaceful by day, electric by night, both coexist in this small capital, making it an irresistible destination for young travelers who crave both art and nightlife. Reykjavík is living proof of the saying, small but mighty, a city doesn't need size to be great, only the spirit to live fully in every moment. Picture this, an aerial view of colorful houses nestled along an icy coastline, tourists gazing out over the city from atop Hallgrímskirkja, then a transition to night, with crowds filling Reykjavíkur Street and cocktails glittering in neon light. But if this tiny capital has already amazed you, wait until you hear the mysterious tales of elves, creatures that Icelanders believe still live among them today. Number 3. Natural wonders and elves. Iceland's wonders and belief in elves. Can you believe that in Iceland? Many people still believe in the existence of elves. To us, they may be nothing more than characters from fairy tales. But in this land of fire and ice, that belief remains alive in everyday life. In small villages like Borgarfjörður Eystri, locals believe that an elf queen dwells on Alfaborg Mountain. Their respect is so deep that even road construction and housing projects must avoid the so-called elf homes, areas believed to be sacred dwelling places. For visitors, you may be guided not to touch the elf house, a revered rock considered the palace of the elf queen. Standing before this silent stone, with icy ocean winds sweeping across the valley, it's easy to feel as if something unseen is quietly watching. This belief in elves, intertwined with Iceland's majestic natural wonders, makes the country feel like a gateway between reality and mythology. Waterfalls like Skogafoss, crashing down in white torrents and casting double rainbows, Seljalandsfoss, where travelers can walk behind the magical curtain of water, or the glacial lagoon Jökulsárlón, where blue icebergs drift like giant crystals, all create a landscape that feels both real and dreamlike. Perhaps that is why Icelanders see no conflict between modern science and ancient belief. To them, elves are not merely mythical beings, but symbols of the bond between humans and nature, reminders that forces beyond reason still exist all around us. Picture this, a wide shot of a misty frozen valley, drone footage soaring over thunderous waterfalls, a close-up of a traveler gazing with reverence and curiosity at the elf house, rock, intercut with mountains shrouded in clouds, resembling realms from legend. But if this enduring faith in elves surprises you, Iceland's festivals, where people celebrate everything from beer to the northern lights, will astonish you even more. Number 2. Unique festivals. Iceland's strange celebrations. Imagine a national holiday where people pour into the streets, just to celebrate the legalization of beer. In Iceland, that is entirely real. Every year on March 1st, locals mark Beer Day, the moment when beer was finally legalized again after 74 years of prohibition. On this day, Reykjavík's bars stay open all night. Golden pints clink together in waves of laughter, and the entire city transforms into one endless party. But Beer Day is only one of the many unusual festivals that define Iceland's identity. In late April, when temperatures outside barely reach 5 degrees Celsius, Icelanders celebrate the first day of summer. They wear t-shirts, march in parades, eat ice cream, and sing joyfully, as if the cold didn't exist at all. It's their way of declaring to nature, we choose joy, no matter the weather. By autumn, the valleys and mountains resound with the chaotic but spirited energy of Reyr. The annual sheep roundup. Locals, tourists, and even children run across the fields, shouting and laughing as they herd flocks of free-roaming sheep back to their pens after summer. And in February, during the longest nights of the Nordic winter, the town of Akureyri lights up for the Northern Lights Festival. Music echoes under a sky painted by the aurora borealis, where man-made lights blend with the cosmic spectacle to create a dance shared by both humanity and the universe. To outsiders, these festivals may seem odd, even paradoxical, but for Icelanders, they embody a spirit of optimism and creativity in a land of ice. They find countless reasons to celebrate, transforming hardship into joy. Picture this: wide shots of Reykjavík glowing with neon lights during Beer Day, close-ups of locals in t-shirts eating ice cream under a 5 degrees Celsius sky, drone footage sweeping over valleys filled with sheep during Reyr, and the aurora blazing in Akureyri, pulsing to the rhythm of festival music. But if these festivals have already surprised you, prepare yourself for the final discovery: the cost of living in Iceland, where nature is abundant. But daily life is far more expensive than you might imagine. Number 1. High cost of living and geothermal food, life's price and Iceland's unique cuisine. How much would you be willing to pay to live in this natural paradise? $1.800 or even $3 a month. That is the cost of everyday life in Iceland, one of the most expensive countries in the world. In reality, the cost of living here is about 20 to 25% higher than in the United States. A small apartment in central Reykjavík can cost $1.500 minus $1.800 per month. A simple meal at a restaurant runs about $25 to $30, and even a bus ticket is pricier than in many other parts of Europe. Yet Icelanders have found clever ways to adapt. Instead of dining out, they buy food from supermarket chains like Bonus, cook at home, and preserve the taste of tradition while saving money. More importantly, they are blessed with almost free geothermal energy, a nationwide heating system that makes even the harshest winters far more bearable. But Icelanders don't just use geothermal heat to stay warm, they turn it into a kitchen beneath the earth. In some regions, locals bury dough deep in hot soil, leaving it overnight to retrieve fragrant loaves of dark rye bread, called rugbrau. The next morning, in the geothermal fields of Mývatn, you might see eggs being dropped directly into boiling hot springs, cooked by the raw heat of the earth itself. These are not just meals, but symbols of a profound connection between humans and nature, where challenges are transformed into culture. This geothermal cuisine is a reflection of the Icelandic spirit itself, the ability to turn hardship into something uniquely remarkable. Picture this: sweeping drone shots of Reykjavík homes glowing with warm lights against snowy streets, close-ups of shoppers in Bonus carrying bags of food, slow motion of hands pulling steaming bread from the earth, and tourists smiling as they lift freshly boiled eggs from a bubbling spring. And so ends our journey through 15 mind-blowing facts about Iceland, leaving us with awe and admiration, as though this small nation truly is a bridge between reality and myth. We have just completed a magical journey across Iceland, a land where fire and ice converge. Where nature and humanity weave stories that feel as if they were lifted from mythology itself. From the midnight sun and legendary black sand beaches, to the ritual of bathing in hot springs in the heart of winter, from the village of Vik living calmly in the shadow of Katla volcano, to the small Icelandic horses with their one-of-a-kind gaits, each discovery has not only revealed a secret of Iceland but has also told us a story of resilience, creativity, and the extraordinary ability of humans to adapt. When we look at Iceland, we don't just see a small nation in the North Atlantic. We see a mirror reflecting humanity's shared aspiration to live in harmony with nature, to honor the past, yet to keep searching forward into the future. And perhaps, the greatest wonder of this journey lies not in how many facts we've uncovered, but in the reminder that countless more mysteries still await. Which discovery surprised you the most? Was it eating ice cream at -15 degrees? The enduring belief in elves? Or the strange festivals that only Iceland could create? And where would you like us to take you next? Mysterious temples in Asia? Lost civilizations? Or natural wonders yet to be named? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. As the screen fades, imagine the aurora borealis still dancing across Iceland's skies, a promise that the world will always hold something new for us to explore. If you found this journey worthwhile, join us at Fascinating Discoveries for the adventures ahead. Hit subscribe, like, and share, so that every discovery doesn't just end here, but continues to inspire and reach even more curious souls.